department. If they can spare them, they send them.
In the next slide, who are we seeing here with the sport coat and striped shirt on?
Lieutenant Cheney, I'm sorry.
Okay. And what unit was he with at the time?
The detectives.
Okay, so he was a lieutenant with the detectives?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In this next slide, it's noon now, right? 12 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're a little more than 2 hours in.
Yes, sir.
And who is that walking across the yard there?
That looks like Sergeant Coleman.
And what unit is Sergeant Coleman with?
Forensics.
Okay, so by this time, forensics is on the scene?
Yes, sir.
In the next slide, 1205, who is this that you're interacting with?
Assistant Chief Talbert.
And in the next slide, do you see a number of police officers in blue and tan uniforms?
I think those are the people dealing with the K9, the search dogs.
Okay. And does this depict their arrival at the scene?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll move past this slide and move to the next one. What are we seeing in this slide?
You see detectives and forensics officers talking to each other.
Okay. They're in the driveway of the house next door, correct?
Yes, sir.
Talking over the investigation?
That's correct.
Now, the gentleman in the foreground of this photo closest to us, is that Lieutenant Cheney of the Criminal Investigations Division who you talked about earlier?
Yeah.
I'm talking about closest to us.
Here in the gray suit.
No, closest to us.
You got a face on this?
With his back to us.
Oh, that's yes, sir. That's Lieutenant Cheney.
So that's Lieutenant Cheney. And who is that in the gray suit in the middle?
That is Chief Hatley.
The Chief of Police for the Chatham County
Yes, sir.
Department. Who is that in the green shirt?
That is Captain Wright with the detectives unit.
Now, is it normal for multiple lieutenants, captain, and 2 assistant chiefs and the chief of police himself to show up to a call?
They show up on calls, how would you say, profile calls, like murders, stuff like that. Missing children and stuff like that. When we do a lot of searching and calling in a lot of resources, they come out to.
Okay. So that component's important.
Yes, sir.
Now, this next slide, what time are we at now here?
12:31.
And who is that we see in this slide?
I think it's Detective Lemons.
All right. And what is happening at this time?
This is the front door of the house. The door that they said it was open.
And what's going on?
I'm explaining to her from where I am what they told me and that showing her the area, the room.
She's taking a look in the room.
Yes, sir.
And then finally, in the last slide here, what time are we at here?
12:43.
All right, so this would be almost 3 hours after your original arrival.
Yes, sir.
You got there at 9:54, 12:43, almost 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what are we seeing here? What is happening here?
That is Lieutenant Foster, Detective Lemon, Captain Wright, and that is Captain Bandrich. Let's see the other person.
And that's Detective Lemons on the far right.
Yes, sir.
And what is she doing?
I guess they all briefing about the case. They're talking to each other about the case.
Okay, talking about the plan to take
Yes, sir.
everybody to headquarters and conduct formal interviews.
I think that's what they was doing.
Okay. Let me ask you a little bit about the defendant's